created by Mindsticks Foundation Trust.
Welcome, students! Today, we are going on a fascinating evolutionary journey through the animal kingdom. We will be starting from simple sponges and moving all the way up to complex mammals. Our agenda covers the simplest animal phyla, worms and segmented animals, arthropods and mollusks, echinoderms and connecting links, lower chordates and fishes, and finally amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The simplest animal phyla, sponges, and cnidarians.
Let's dive right into our first group, phylum Porifera. Take a look at the cycon sponge. Now, these animals are sedentary. What exactly does that mean? Well, it means they stay firmly attached to a solid substratum at the bottom of the sea. They don't swim around. Instead, they take in water through tiny pores all over their bodies called ostia. That water brings in small organisms for them to feed on, and then it gets expelled through a larger opening. It's a very simple but incredibly effective way to live.
Now, here is a rather surprising fact for you. Did you know that the common bath sponge actually belongs to this very group? It's true. Their bodies are supported by fibers made of a special protein called spongin. This spongin gives them a really excellent water-holding capacity. Because of this unique trait, they were actually used for bathing in the old days, and people even used them for wedding postal stamps.
Moving slightly up in evolutionary complexity, we arrive at phylum Cnidara. Take a look at the hydra. Do you see those long structures at the top? Those are its tentacles. These tentacles are equipped with special cells called cnidoblasts. When a small prey happens to swim by, the hydra uses these tentacles to grab it, and the cnidoblasts inject a toxin to completely paralyze the prey. Oh, and by the way, this phylum also includes the beautiful, colorful corals that build our ocean reefs.
Section 2. Worms and segmented animals, flatworms to earthworms.
Here we can actually observe how internal body structures become much more sophisticated over time. Take the flat, leaf-like liver fluke, which belongs to Platyhelminthes. It's acolomate, meaning it completely lacks a true internal body cavity. But then, contrasting that with the cylindrical Ascaris roundworm, we see it is a pseudocolomate, meaning it has a false body cavity. You see, nature is slowly making room inside the body for more complex organs.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is that both of these worm groups share a major evolutionary upgrade. They are triploblastic. This simply means their bodies develop from three distinct germ layers: the endoderm on the inside, the ectoderm on the outside, and now the mesoderm right in the middle. This third layer, the mesoderm, is a massive step forward in animal evolution.
And that beautifully leads us to phylum Annelida. Think of the earthworm and the leech. Here, we see the arrival of true metameric segmentation. Their bodies are divided into little ring-like segments. Even more importantly, they now have a true body cavity, known as a eucolome. The earthworm, as you might already know, is truly a friend of the farmer, constantly aerating the soil with this perfectly designed, cylindrical, and segmented body.
Section 3. Arthropods and mollusks, the largest animal groups.
Let's carefully look at the characteristics of phylum Arthropoda. Arthropods, which include crabs, spiders, and all insects, absolutely dominate the Earth. Why are they so incredibly successful? Well, they have jointed appendages, which allows for excellent and swift movement. Furthermore, they are protected by a tough, chitinous exoskeleton. This armor allows them to survive in literally every habitat imaginable, from the deepest oceans to the highest mountains.
The second largest phylum is Mollusca. This group features soft-bodied, slimy animals. You might recognize the bivalve or the snail, which secrete a hard, calcareous shell to protect their soft internal organs. But importantly, it also includes the incredibly clever octopus.
In fact, you really should know that the octopus is considered the cleverest of all non-chordates. It possesses the totally unique ability to change its body color to perfectly blend in with its surroundings. Plus, it can perform multiple types of locomotion. It can swim, creep, and even walk. It is truly a marvel of the ocean.
Section 4. Echinoderms and connecting links, spiny skins to early notochords.
First, we have the starfish, which is an echinoderm. They have calcareous spines on their skin and possess this amazing ability to regenerate broken body parts. If they lose an arm, they just grow it right back. But pay very close attention to the balanoglossus. This creature is fundamentally crucial to biology because it serves as the connecting evolutionary link between non-chordates and chordates. It beautifully shows characteristics of both groups, bridging the gap. Section 5. Lower chordates and fishes. the introduction of the backbone. Let us carefully review the essential characteristics of phylum Chordata. All animals in this phylum, and yes, that absolutely includes us humans, share 4 fundamental traits at some point in our development. We all have a notochord for support, pharyngeal gill slits, a single tubular spinal cord running along our dorsal or back side, and a heart situated on the ventral or front side.
When comparing early vertebrates, we see a very clear structural upgrade. Take class Cyclostomata. These are primitive, jawless animals with soft skin and no scales, using a circular sucker mouth to attach to their prey. But look at class Pisces, the true fishes. They evolved mouths with powerful jaws, an exoskeleton of scales for protection, and specialized paired and unpaired fins to absolutely master swimming in their aquatic environment.
Section 6. Amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals, conquering land and air.
First in this monumental transition to land is class Amphibia. As you see with the frog, they lead a dual life. They are strictly aquatic during their larval stage, needing water to breathe through gills. However, as they undergo metamorphosis into adults, they develop lungs and can survive on land. They are the brave pioneers stepping out of the water.
But true terrestrial life really begins with class Reptilia. Notice the wall lizard. They adapted completely to land by developing dry, scaly skin. This is absolutely vital because it prevents moisture loss under the hot sun. However, they are still plagioclotherms, meaning they are cold-blooded, so their internal body temperature changes right along with their external environment.
Now, to solve the issue of a constantly changing environment, nature introduced a final evolutionary masterpiece, becoming homeotherms, or warm-blooded. These animals can maintain a constant body temperature internally, no matter how hot or cold their surroundings happen to be.
This magnificent warm-blooded trait is shared by the last 2 classes we will discuss today. First is aves, the birds, like the pigeon. Their forelimbs are beautifully modified into wings to minimize air resistance during flight. The second is mammalia, our very own class. Mammals are characterized by the presence of mammary glands to feed their young, and an exoskeleton of body hair or fur, just like you see on this remarkable flying mammal, the bat.
Before we conclude our explainer today, I want you to use your brain power to solve a little riddle based on what we just learned. If animals like the whale and the walrus live their entire lives in the ocean, do they belong to Pisces with the fishes, or are they mammalia? Think carefully about their characteristics. Do they have scales and gills, or do they have lungs, hair, and feed their young with milk? Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will see you in our next explainer.